What have you been hearing about the struggle between getting people to come back into the office versus remote working? What have you been hearing in that discussion?
Okay, very interesting question. One of the effects of the lockdown is working from home and also video conferencing. Okay, there are certain professions or certain industries that should utilize this more, but others should bring them back. One of the benefits of working from home is employers can expand their search area of an employee. Before, it has to be within 1 hour drive. Otherwise, people just, I'm not going to drive 3 hours to, twice a day. But today, if, for example, if it's a graphic artist, if it's a software developer, okay, or anything that can be completely done from home, an employer can consider expanding their search area outside of a 1 hour, outside of a 2 hour, okay, outside of a 3 hour, and even if it's a 3 hour drive, if the employee can completely work from home, and then you need to have a meeting, oh well, that's once a month or twice a month, the employee can come in, then that will work. Now, some employers have even expanded all the way to completely not able to come in even to another country. Now, when you do that, okay, when you do that, time zone comes into play. 12-hour time difference is the worst. Now, if it's within the US, if the employee is in a time zone that's ahead of the employer, that's good. If the employee is, say, on the East Coast and the employer is on the West Coast, that's good. But if the employer is on the East Coast, the employee is on the West Coast, that's going to be very, very hard on the employee. And also, a lot of times, the employer, they will just go all the way south to South America. It's kind of in the same time zone, but it's a much cheaper labor.
Let me
However,
go ahead.
there are certain things that is best to be done in the office with a group. And also you should never ever give a remote position to an employee who has never had a job in the office. They don't understand office culture. I wouldn't give a remote job, a complete full-time remote job to an employee who has not had two jobs, 5 years working in the office, because they are not going to learn the office interaction.
That's a no, that's a really good point, and that's the discussion that I've kind of been seeing in different articles online about the struggle between remote work and coming back into the office. Is that yeah, it's not obviously you can't do it for everything. Like if you're a server in a diner, you can't do remote work, obviously. So some industries just physically can't do it, but for the there seems to be this fantastical thought from, I guess, managers and CEO guys that are saying, "Oh, the spark of invention happens when people are back in the office," and it's like they don't like the idea of remote work because they think that they're not actually working at working from home. But it's like there's downtime at in every job, whether you're in the office or whether you're at home. There's downtime regardless. And in my opinion, and I'm basing this off of experience in two different industries, is that when people are alone, they're not thinking about, hey, how can we push the company line and make us some more money? They're thinking, what did so and so wear today at the office, and they're gossiping or like water cooler conversations. They're not thinking about ways to increase profits or anything like that. They're human beings that are wanting to take a break during their downtime.
Correct, correct. Um, the more seasoned the employee and the more individualized the task, the more you are going to be successful having him or her working from home. The uh, the younger the employee and the more collaborative nature of the work, the more likely you are going to have better productivity having him or her in the office.
So
Let
your
me let
your
me push
advice would
this
be your advice
to
would be for remote workers, if they're going to do it at all, they really do need to come in at least they need to have at least had some jobs before where they're actually in the office, and they need to I guess
correct.
I guess show that they are how do you say this? Professionally intelligent and experienced enough to understand what office culture is before being allowed the permission to go out and do the remote work, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me give you another example that not too many people are thinking. Okay,
Sure.
I know there are electrical or electronic engineers. Okay, and they have set a lab for themselves, either at home or they rented a commercial facility with all their equipment. And for 20 years, they work for numerous different employers, and then they work from their own personal labs. And they produce the best when they are with their own equipment doing their own thing. That's an example of how working from home is beneficial to everybody.
Mr. Lin, we've run out of time here today, but I do appreciate your insight on this. I hope that we can meet up again to talk about other related topics to this. That's Michael Lin. And what's your website again?
CoachMichaelLin.com. Lin is Lin. CoachMichaelLin.com.
Leadership expert, workplace culture expert, Coach Michael Lin, joining us on Newstalk 710 KURV.